Welcome to Scout 101. I see lots of tutorials out there for doing a lot of different things, but one thing I don't often see is one that just covers the basics for beginners to the class. So that's what we're going to do. Make sure to sign your name at the top of the page, and remember, all of this will be on the test. I'm just kidding. One of the most important parts of playing Scout is staying alive. Scout is a light class with a low health pool. You can't tank damage the way heavy soldiers and demo men do. To avoid damage, try to move in zigzag patterns whenever possible. Don't ever run in a straight line. Straight lines are very easy to predict. Scout has a double jump, and this is one of his primary ways of avoiding damage. Not only can you jump in mid-air, but the double jump allows you to switch directions in mid-air. To dodge left, for example, jump forward, then hit the A key and the spacebar at the same time while in mid-air. Voila! You have now completely confused whoever was shooting at you. It works backwards, diagonally, basically in any direction you can move while on the ground. While the double jump is amazing, it shouldn't be the only tool in your kit. One of the best ways of avoiding damage is cowardice. Running away is an essential skill in any Scout player's arsenal. Using your speed to escape bad situations can greatly increase your longevity over time. Scout is a pick class, not a power class. What that basically comes down to is this: you can't fight big groups. When the enemy is all clustered together and all of them are looking at you, do not go in. Retreat and wait for your team to distract them. Dodging fire from one enemy is not so bad. Dodging bullets, rockets, and grenades from 4 or 5 different enemies at once is exponentially more difficult. Like I said before, Scout is a pick class. He's at his strongest when engaging in duels against singular opponents or assassinating one specific target, such as medic or sniper. If you've mastered the skill of avoiding damage from lesson 1, you will have a sizable advantage against any single opponent you face, since it will be harder for them to damage you at all. In general, if an opponent is by himself, go for it. If there are a few enemies but none of them see you yet, try to kill one person and run away, since the rest of them are likely to turn around once they hear a teammate die. Here's a good example. I've just successfully gotten behind the enemy team without being seen and come across a big cluster. I know I don't have enough firepower to kill that many of them, but I also know that my entire team is around this corner, and nobody's looking at me. So I run in, blast the heavy back into the wall, and finish him off with a pistol before he even knows what's happening. At that point, my team's pyro wipes the rest of them up with a crit boost, so I'm free to reload my guns and prepare for the next tussle. I took advantage of a big fight to kill a key target without much risk to myself, and this is the attitude you should have when playing Scout. Wait for big fights, catch people off guard, use your speed to chase down injured enemies before they can reach a health pack, and never pick a fight unless you're sure you can win. Essentially, fight dirty. If the Scout were a real person, he would open every fistfight with a knee right in the balls and would never apologize for it. One of the reasons newer Scouts die so fast is that they tend to just race down mid in a straight line, begging to be sent to the Shadow Realm. While Scouts can go down the main path, it isn't usually a good idea. Scout thrives in side alleys, flank routes, and back rooms, and his double jump lets him get to places other classes have a hard time reaching. For example, you can get to the other roof on Badwater with a single double jump. I'm not going to waste time pointing out all the places on all the maps Scout can get to, but just keep your eyes open for places above and below, and try to spend as much time as possible using alternate routes to get behind the enemy. It's a lot like playing Spy. You want to be out of sight until the moment you're ready to attack. Now, while we're on the subject, I should point out that a Scout can survive and thrive in choke points if he's surrounded by teammates. Scout's low profile and weedy frame make him a non-threatening figure in many people's minds, so it's entirely possible to use your teammates as human shields and blast people with impunity. Again, fighting fair is not an option when your health pool is this shallow. Look, if you're gonna die, you may as well take down a big target with you. While survival is obviously the best outcome, sometimes you just aren't gonna make it. You screw up a double jump or run the wrong direction and suddenly you're surrounded by enemies and have 0 health in under a second. When stuff like this happens, train your brain to seek out the most valuable target and go all in on killing that one before death. In this clip, I try to jump across a gap, but an enemy soldier rocket jumps upward at the exact same time. We slam into each other mid-air and both of us fall into the crack of doom here. I kill him and end up in a fight with the enemy medic. I do some damage, miss my second shot, miss my cleaver, the enemy team is all here to kill me, and my health is low. So I abandon my hopes of survival, sprint forward, and bash the medic's brains in with my bat, throw one last cleaver, and die horribly. But that's okay. Killing the medic brings my team such a huge advantage that it is well worth dying for. The same applies to Sniper and Engineer, in my opinion. Both are high value targets if you can manage to get close enough. Medic is the main one though. A lot of people see the Scout's pistol as a pestering tool, something that's just kinda there. Maybe it's because of how much Engineer I play, but I use the pistol almost as much as my primary. Okay, maybe it's because I use the Force of Nature so much, but seriously, never underestimate how good the pistol is. Here, look at this. The gates just opened, and here comes an overhealed Scout. After missing 2 embarrassingly easy shots on him, I swapped to the pistol and turned him into smoking ash with 1 clip. Learning to consistently aim the pistol will greatly increase your lethality at middle ranges or when your primary runs out of steam. You could use it to open fights while the enemy closes in, or as a finisher when the enemy is low and reloading would waste time. No matter what primary you happen to be using, switching to the pistol is always faster than reloading. All this talk about pistols and crotch punching may have you convinced that murder is all there is to life, but no, Scout is essential to the whole capping objectives deal. In fact, in some matches, capping the point is the main way you can contribute to the team. Scout captures objectives twice as fast as any other class, and his ability to reach flank routes and unexpected pathways makes him very good at sneaking around the enemy front line and getting to the objective before they can stop him. Blasting enemies, dodging rockets in midair, escaping by the skin of your teeth, and giving your life for the good of the team are all great. But what matters most, what Scout is the greatest at, is capping points of any variety. One of the biggest rushes you can get is to sneak into the enemy base, pass all the defenses, and single-handedly win the game for your team. It doesn't always work, but when it does, is the coolest thing you can do. Victory. That's the end of class. Alright, I want the essay from last week turned in by Friday. And no, I will not grade on a curve. I don't do handouts.